Hi Rosy friends, it's Julie, and today I want to talk about a product that was sent to me for free in exchange for an honest review. This is not a sponsored or paid video. This is just me talking about my experience with this product that was sent to me by the company, which was super generous. And that company is called Honeylab, and the product that they sent me is called Honevo Red. I'm hoping I'm saying that right. I only read about it and used it, but it is this product right here. It is meant to soothe and calm redness in the affected area of the face. It has been tested on rosacea sufferers. It was designed for rosacea sufferers. It is an all-natural product, which I found really cool. It has been researched in a pilot study that was 8 weeks long. So they share, when they sent me this product, they shared a sheet, which is actually a copy of the FAQ section on their website, which, as long as I don't forget, I will put in the description for this video. It is at www.honeylab.co.nz. It is a product based on, well, let's show you the actual, like, this is the box that it came in, and then it came in this awesome little tube. Very easy to use, and when you hold it the right side up, you can read the label. There we go. And so it is met with, you've seen me do videos before. If you've been watching my channel for a while, I've done a few of them, and I've talked about Manuka honey, I've done masks and things like that. This is made with a similar kind of ingredient. It's Kanuka honey. It's made in New Zealand from a special kind of honey made from a special kind of pollen from the Kanuka plant. Hope I'm saying that one right too. We don't have that one here in Canada, so I'm just going for it. And that honey is meant to provide the same kinds of benefits as Manuka honey, as far as I understand, except that it also has an anti-inflammatory property. And if you've heard me rant for a while about the different issues caused by inflammation, that's pretty much everything that goes into rosacea. If you have inflammation with rosacea, then that can bring on the redness, it can bring on the stinging and the burning and all those fun things that you feel. It can even contribute to all those little bumps that we get when we have subtype 2, which is just so very much fun. So keeping inflammation down helps to control rosacea symptoms, as far as I understand it. So remember that I'm not a doctor, I'm not a skincare specialist, I'm just a rosacea patient. So if you do actually want to know what is best for you, trying things out on yourself, talking to your doctor, contacting the company is the best way. This is just my review of my experience with this and the way that I understand it. A little bit about this product. There are 2 ingredients in it: pharmaceutical grade Kanuka honey and glycerin. And the glycerin was added, according to this sheet here, basically just to make the honey easier to use and to manipulate to put on the face, because honey is like, well, really sticky, duh. But yeah, it's really, and this is a very thick and pasty kind of honey, so the little bit of glycerin just makes it a little bit smoother, so you can't actually spread it on. And I can see why they added it after using it. I can definitely understand why that was an important thing. So as I talk more about the product, I'll go into that. Basically, oh, there you can actually see on the lid because it's spilled a little bit, so I won't actually like just put some out on my hand or anything, because that way I don't like to get sticky, but it's like honey. You can't tell that there's glycerin in it just by kind of handling it or whatever. It smells like honey. It acts like honey. It's basically just putting honey on your face, but a pharmaceutical grade of it. I'm just going to read like a little bit of this. This explains it really well. So instead of me trying to put it into my own words, I'll just read this off here very quickly. Okay, it says, we use Kanuka. They're explaining about the honey itself that they've chosen. We use Kanuka as we have found that it has very high antibacterial activity compared to other honeys. Kanuka also has anti-inflammatory activities where Manuka and others do not. That's what I just finished saying. Honey has a number of other physicochemical characteristics, which gives it unique properties that are responsible for its effectiveness in treating some medical conditions. One is an osmotic effect, also contains a natural amount of hydrogen peroxide, which is slowly released when it comes into contact with the body, and it has a natural acidity, which is a pH of 3.2 to 4.5, which is about as acidic as some vinegars, and that makes it difficult for microorganisms like bacteria, mites, all those kinds of fun things that land on your face to grow. And it has antioxidants. It contains bioflavonoids and other antioxidants which may contribute to its activity. Something important about this is not just the same as buying Kanuka honey. If you had a source of Kanuka honey somewhere, this is different from that still because this is a pharmaceutical grade. And it says honey applied to the skin should be medical grade, also known as pharmaceutical grade. Applications of untreated or raw honey often causes local inflammation, which can be quite severe as it contains many impurities from the bees and the hives. This tube contains 50 milliliters. If I remember to do this, I will put on the screen how much that is in ounces for our American Rosy friends. But this amount is meant to last several weeks. I can definitely believe that because I used it for about a month so far, which is about half the length of the study that they held. And I'm about down to about, oop, I'm not even in front of the camera, about that line that's actually on there. Okay, seriously, the camera. There we go. I'm about to there. I've got tons left, and I am going to keep using this. So about my experience actually using it, this is really different from anything else I've ever tried in a number of ways. I really like that it's all natural. One of the things that I did notice when I first applied it is that it does not spread well if you use just a tiny little amount. I was trying to use as little as possible because it is honey and it is sticky, so I thought it tells you to use it for a minimum of 15 minutes at a time. You wear it kind of as a mask. And so I was thinking if I'm going to be doing that, I want to wear as little as possible because then I don't want my hair or other things to get stuck in it. But if you try to put on very little, it pulls the skin and it is very irritating. So I did find that a little bit more is better. This doesn't mean a huge coating. And when I put it on, when I put on the right amount, I really couldn't tell that it was there. I did answer the door once with it on and got a package. I didn't feel that the delivery person could tell that I have honey all over my face. But I did find that if you use just a small amount, then it does pull, it stretches the skin a little bit. And then as soon as I applied it, my skin would get very hot and flare right on up. But that was very temporary. I tried a lot of different, I wasn't exactly sure how long to leave it on. It said at least 15 minutes, but kind of more is better. So because I work from home, I have a lot of opportunity to kind of mess around with that a little bit. And what I did was one day I just did 15 minutes just to see kind of what happened afterwards and then rinse it off with lukewarm water. And I didn't wash it off entirely because I thought, well, then if there's anything kind of left over, it'll just continue benefiting me throughout the day. There were times when I actually left it on for 3 hours or more. I did find that my skin was very calm after that, which was, pretty cool. So it didn't, leaving it on for a really long time didn't irritate or anything like that. You're supposed to use it 2 times per day. I used it 2 times per day, probably 75% of the time. The rest of it, I did get it in there 1 time per day. And that is because you have to leave it on for so long. I found it hard to fit into my schedule at some point because this isn't something that you can put on right before you're running out the door, or you have to be able to take it back off again at some point. I would certainly not want to put this on and go out with it on forever. I would just feel like I'd have things stuck on. I did find after a while, as though while it did start sticky, after a while it did actually kind of be sticky. It just sort of felt like I had applied a thick cream, so there was definitely a presence there, but it wasn't sticky anymore, so that was pretty nice. But I still wouldn't want to put this on and then go somewhere with it. So as long as my days were very busy and I had a lot of things to do or I was going out and things like that, it was hard to fit this in twice. That said, when I did, it felt very nice. I enjoyed it. I found it smells nice. It's very natural, and I didn't have any adverse reactions to it. After having used it for nearly a month, yeah, I did find that the little bumps that I had on my face, which were really bad, because I tried this at one of my worst times of the year, which is a transition from winter to summer. The other really bad one is from summer to winter. And so during that period where one day it could be a horrible ice storm and the next day we're out in t-shirts because it's like 20 something degrees outside and we're also starting to, we haven't acclimated to the new weather yet, so we're all sweating at 20 degrees. I found that even during that time, it did help to really get rid of those little pimply kind of bumps that are not acne, but that look like that. I found that really impressive. I didn't have as much redness from actual flare-ups as I would normally at this time of year, and as I had been having in previous weeks before starting this. It didn't take away all of my redness, but so far I haven't found anything that takes away all of my redness. I do have some permanent redness there, so even when I'm not having a flare-up, when my skin is perfectly comfortable, after having rosacea for this long, my skin, and after having not done anything about it for 15 years, my skin is damaged. It has some redness to it. I am looking into different things that I could possibly do about that, but as it stands, I do have some permanent redness that just doesn't go away even when my skin is perfectly healthy and happy and calm. So this did not get rid of that, but it did seem to control the other symptoms, which was really, really cool. I'm very pleased with that. My skin has been very calm for the last while. I used this while I was trying out some other products as well, and skincare and makeup products, and I didn't find that I had any adverse reactions to things during that time, so it didn't seem to conflict with anything else that I would normally do in my guinea piggery. Yeah, so overall I would say I had a really positive experience with this. I like this. I feel that it did help me. I don't think it's a miracle cure, but I do think that it is very helpful, and I think within reason, incorporated into other strategies such as, you know, I kept up my light therapy, I still avoid triggers, I've been really, really careful about protecting myself from the sun this year, that kind of thing, and I've even been getting more sleep. This complements that very nicely. I think that this is actually a product that can contribute to that effort in keeping everything under control, because as most of us know, the vast majority of us that aren't the super, super lucky ones, there isn't one thing that's going to take down rosacea completely. You can't just pop a pill or shine a light or apply a cream and then everything's better. It does take a kind of broader effort for most of us. In terms of how quickly I started seeing results, I would have to say probably around the 2-week mark. 10 days, 2 weeks, and around there. That's when I really started seeing that it was making a difference, that it was calming things down, bringing things down. So that's about when I started to see that it was working. I think that aligns pretty well with what they found in their study. One thing that I really respect about this company is that it doesn't make overblown claims, and it doesn't work that study as though it is the be-all and end-all conclusive study that shows that this is some sort of cure. I've seen that in all too many products, and what I really like about this one is there are questions, things like, you know, if you stop using the product, will your symptoms come back? Or what happens basically after the 8 weeks mark? And all they can honestly say is that their study ran for 8 weeks, and after that point they weren't following the participants anymore, so they don't know conclusively. Like, they don't, it's not a part of their research. That said, you know, this isn't a cure, so if you stop using it, your symptoms may return. That is perfectly fair. I trust that statement. I respect that statement. And I'm really glad that they said that. That made me have a lot more confidence even trying it out in the first place, let alone actually believing that it would work. Yeah, so that would be Honevo Red. Here's the product again. Here we go. Yay. Really, really like it. I've stopped using it since my skin is all kind of under control and everything like that. I've put it on a bit of a pause, but I will use the rest of it, and it is something that I would reorder. So I just was really excited to be able to tell you about it, because I thought, well, this is something that actually helped me, so I love telling you about stuff that has actually done something positive for me. Yeah, so I hope you liked this video. I hope this was something different and something that could help you out a little bit. I hope you found it entertaining and informative. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. That way I will know. And if you want to see more videos like this one, then I hope you'll subscribe to my channel. I make new videos every Sunday and some Thursdays. And if you want to make sure that you get alerts when I do put out new videos, please hit the little bell button next to the subscribe button. Yeah, so, oh, and I also want to just say a big thanks to the people at Honey Labs who found me and who invited me to try out the product and sent this to me. I really appreciate it. I really feel that I have found something new that I like a lot. Thank you very, very much. Yeah, so I guess that's everything, and I will see you next time.